Good morning and welcome back. Today is day 276 of our 365 days of Bible study, and we are continuing with the story of Jesus from St. Mark's Gospel, which is shared almost in its entirety by St. Matthew and St. Luke. Today we look at the story of Jesus' rejection by his home community. We're looking at Mark chapter 6, verses 1 to 6. Jesus left there and came to his home country, followed by his disciples. And when the Sabbath day came, he started to teach in the synagogue. Most people who heard him were amazed. Where did he get all this from? He's much wiser than we would have expected. How is he able to do such powerful things? After all, he's only the carpenter, Mary's son, James, Joseph, Jude, and Simon's brother, and he's got sisters here too. This caused them to change their mind about him. But Jesus said to them, "Prophets never lack respect, except in their home country and amongst the members of their own family and household." He was not able to do anything powerful there, although he did bless a few sick people and made them better. He was amazed at their lack of faith. So Jesus came home, and people who had known him before as his dad's apprentice, a jobbing carpenter and furniture maker, couldn't get their heads around what they were now seeing and hearing about him. Are we to suppose that Joseph is now not on the scene? He isn't mentioned. Jesus is the one who is referred to as the village carpenter. So, has Joseph perhaps died? You might ask what the people in his hometown expected of him. Was he now taking on airs and graces that would not have been expected of a village workman? Prophets in the past had come from various stations of life. Some had been scholars, politicians, clergy. Others had been farmers and owners of livestock. It sounds like Jesus was not at all surprised at the reaction of those who had known him, and said it was only to be expected that people in his hometown wouldn't show him any respect. That was a disappointment, but they were not the only ones who wouldn't recognize him for who he was. Mark was aware that Jesus had been unrecognized by many of his fellow citizens, and the radical change in worldview that he preached was, of course, seen as a threat to the established order, both the religious establishment and the political. What was true of his hometown was also true of his country and its religion. So early in the common gospel narrative, here we have the seeds of the conflict that would attempt to put his light out, a light which refused to be extinguished, and soon was to start its spread across the globe. By the time Mark wrote this story down, soon after 70 AD, the good news, as they called it, was already in the imperial capital, Rome. Well, next in our common narrative, we shall see Jesus choosing disciples and calling them, which we shall read about tomorrow, and I'll see you then.